What up, everybody? It's Large Kid Dracula here. I have made my window larger. Now you must all grovel before me as ants. Um, this is an extenuation. If you follow me on Twitter, which you probably do because you're seeing this video, you'll know that I love to make car rants on my phone. Um, we have upgraded. We are now doing chair rants in the office. We are professional individuals now. You can tell by my gamer's headset. I would like to talk about something today. I would like to talk about an image today. This image will be put on screen shortly. This is an image of Kakyoin and Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Kakyoin says, "That's reactable." And Jotaro says, "Can you react to it?" This is a funny post, right? This is a funny post. This is a funny thing to reply with to somebody who keeps talking about something that's reactable, but they can't actually react to it. Unfortunately, this image has been taken and corrupted, much like the Core A gaming video about how we should buff more than we nerf. It has been taken and corrupted. How? How have we done this? Well, you'll notice that if you ever bitch about a move getting nerfed that was already reactable, like Mad Love Agitato, most of the replies you get are going to look like this. Oh, you think Mad Love Agitato should get nerfed? Well, you sometimes get hit by Faust 6H. Oh, you think Mad Love Agitato shouldn't have gotten nerfed? Well, sometimes you block Geo Spiral Arrow. Oh, you think Mad Love Agitato is reactable? Well, you get hit by Tap Dust. There are a number of issues with the way that we argue about things like this. We don't even have to take into account, this is the third time that I've recorded this. The first time this video was 21 minutes long. I did an in-depth analysis of how frame data works, right? First of all, the fact that you have the full 26 frames of Mad Love Agitato to react to it with 6P because of how upper body invulnerability works. You can press 6P when the hitbox is already out and on top of you, and you will hit Eno out of Mad Love Agitato. Now, you could compare that to a 29-frame cross-up like Elfelt's Bomb Chocolat, right? Where, well, the fastest way to punish it would be to jump and air throw her if you can't beat it with 6P. But jumping takes 4 frames, standard. Then there's air time, let's say that's 1 frame. And then air throw needs to come out, which is 2 frames. So now, if you actually want to punish it, it's no longer a 29-frame cross-up. It's actually a 22-frame cross-up, if you want to punish it, right? But we don't need to talk about that. What we need to talk about is the logical conclusion of the argument. You think that this move was already reactable and shouldn't be nerfed, but you can't react to this move. How curious. How curious. There are a number of issues with this argument. First of all, the logical conclusion of this argument is that if the entire player base cannot consistently react to a move, consistently, right? Then that move should be nerfed. If we're going to nerf Mad Love, and if we're going to make fun of people for being upset that they nerfed Mad Love, well, then we got to nerf everything else too. Faust's overhead, 6H, 25 frame startup. I've been hit by Faust overhead before. If Crap Pupula can't react to it every single time, it needs to be nerfed. It should be 35 frames. 35 frame startup. Geo Spiral Arrow, 27 frames. Nerf it. 30 frame startup. Bare minimum. 35 would be ideal. And if you continue to follow this argument, right? This horrible, horrible argument, then the conclusion that you eventually come to is that the game should be made legitimately for fucking toddlers, right? Every single overhead should be reactable every single time. We should never block it. Offense should be terrible. You know what? I think there should be things that are a little bit difficult to react to. I think it's okay that Tap Dust is 20 frames and actually closer to like 17 or 18 frames because it takes 3 frames for the orange flash to come out. I think it's okay that ABBA has a 17 frame hop kick. And you want to know why? Because 17 frames is reactable. Returning to the meme, it actually doesn't matter if you can react to it as far as game balance goes. If you're making a complaint about game balance, it doesn't matter if you can and can't react to it because it is reactable. Crap Pupula can go into training mode and set ABBA to do either close slash 2D or close slash hop kick and block it 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, something like that. And now you'll say to me, I can hear you now whispering in my headset, oh, but Kid Dracula, oh, but Crapupula, what about mental stack? Oh, what about nerves? What if I didn't have my favorite breakfast this morning? Oh, now it's unreactable. No, it's actually still reactable because none of those things change the math. What these games are is math. Sajam talks about this, right? These games are math. Your inability to react to something does not change in a specific moment in time, does not change whether or not the move is actually reactable. Because I can go into training mode, and when I see hop kick, I input 4 instead of 1, right? That's reactable. Sorry. All the other shit, that's just icing on the cake. Because that's part of what a tournament tests. That's part of what fighting games test. It's not just about your skill at the game. It's not just about your knowledge of the matchups and your character and how well you can do a mix-up. It's about your ability to keep cool. Did my computer just turn off? What the hell is going on? Sorry. It's about your ability to keep cool under pressure. But the bottom line is, that move's reactable. 17 frames is reactable. Now, there are people who cannot react to 17 frames, in the same way that there are people who have a 13-frame reaction time, right? But we shouldn't balance the game around either of those people. We should balance it around what is the broadly accepted as the standard optimal human reaction time, which is about 17 frames, right? What I see in this argument, what I see in what this meme has done to conversations about reactability is that it has introduced an ego element to something that is pure data. And I will give you an example that's outside of fighting games. Let's say I'm sitting on a beautiful bench. It's a lovely summer's day. I'm in the middle of the park. And I've decided that I want to try and complete a calculus problem. Now, I've never done calculus, right? I have never done calculus, and I'm working on this problem. And a calculus professor walks by, and he sees me working on it, and I say, it is fucking impossible to do this, right? And the calculus professor says to me, well, no, it's actually like this problem is not possible. It is possible. There are problems in math, obviously, that are impossible to solve. This problem is solvable. And I go, no, it's not, because I can't do it. If Crapupula can't do it, then it's unreactable. Then we shouldn't be able to complain. We shouldn't be able to complain. We shouldn't even be able to say that something might be like, that it is within the realm of possibility, right? What it really would be like is if I said to that calculus professor, well, my friend can't do it. Does that make any sense? Here's a better example. What if I then took that calculus problem and I brought it to my friend? And I put my calculus problem down in front of my friend and I said, hey, here's this calculus problem. It is solvable. And then my friend looked at me with a smug fucking look on his face and said, can you solve it? Who fucking cares, buddy? Who gives a fuck if I can solve it? It does not change the fact that it is solvable. And the reason why I really dislike this is because of one tweet that I'm going to show you right now. This was a tweet by Twitter user Libby. And Libby says, give me one moment, I have to pull it up on my own computer. If you genuinely don't think 18 frames is reactable online, it is legitimately a skill issue. That's the tweet. Now, a lot of people had feelings about this. A lot of people disagreed. Maybe there is a debate to be had about whether 18 frames is actually reactable. Spoiler alert, it is. I have very bad reaction times. If I can train myself to react to it, and by the way, it is a trainable skill, then you can react to it too. You have to be looking for it, but you should be looking for it in general because you're playing the game, right? Now, a few days, a couple weeks maybe, after this tweet was made, Libby went to a tournament. Libby went to a major. And at that major, deep into the tournament, Libby found themselves fighting a Zato player. One of the best Zato players in the world, in fact. Now, this set was streamed, and a clip of it was posted on Twitter. And in this clip, friends, I have some bad news for you. Libby was not blocking tap dust. I think at least 3 or 4 tap dusts opened up our friend Libby. And as you can imagine, the Twitter community approached this with as much grace and support as they could muster. No, they did not. People started being a fucking assholes to Libby about this, saying, oh, you said 18 frames is reactable, but you didn't react to it in a tournament against the best auto in the world when you were going into top 8. Yes, obviously things like mental stack and all of that are a factor for whether or not you will actually block the reactable move. But it does not change the fact that the move is reactable. And what it ultimately boils down to, because this is now 10 minutes long and I don't think we need to rant about it much longer, is an ego problem. You all, yes, you, the person watching this video, me too, you have an ego problem. Because you cannot hear something that is scientific, mathematic in nature, without trying to turn it on to the other guy. Oh, you said it was reactable, but you can't react to it. God, my tongue looks terrible. What are we doing? What is this? Does this make you better as a player? Does this make you more capable of reacting to the reactable overhead when you point out that other people can't react to it? I would hate to see this game balanced around what crap Pupula can and cannot do. Because I'll tell you right now, that's going to be a very boring game for a 27-year-old whose faculties are failing, right? That's it. That's all I want to say. Just a little rant about reactability, a rant about the way we treat each other, a rant about this meme. So, if you like hearing me spew a bunch of bullshit for 10 minutes to 2 hours, then consider following me on twitch.tv / Kid Dracula 666. And consider dropping me a follow on YouTube if you want. Although, again, I don't really post a lot on YouTube these days, so probably better off following this the stream. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to get it off my chest. I originally talked about this on stream the other day and decided I would like to talk about it again. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day.